show you how to make the shark bookmark freebie from Kreative Kiwi. And for that I'm going to be using a 5x7 hoop, 2 layers of wash away stabiliser, matching bobbin and thread, thread for the mouth, thread for the teeth and eyes, my squizzers, fabrics and batting cut to size, and some masking tape. Start off by hooping and pinning your 2 layers of wash away stabiliser. Take your pin, rest it on top of your hoop frame, push it through your stabiliser, and then bring it back round and through, and that will anchor it and stop it being pulled down through the 2 hoop pieces. Load your file into your machine, and then you're going to stitch round number 1, and that's going to give you a placement outline for your batting. Place your batting over the outline and then tape it in place. Pop your hoop into your machine, and then you're going to stitch round number 2 to secure it. And that's also going to give you your placement outline for your fabric. Remove the tape, and then you're going to trim up the excess batting from around the edge of the stitch line. Place your front fabric over the outline, then tape it in place. Pop your hoop into your machine and stitch round number 3 to secure it. You're now going to place the fabric for the belly over this area here. Now you've got 2 options here. If your fabric is very light or very thin and it's going to show through, you can trim out this area here, just trim out the belly fabric, and that will reveal then the batting underneath, and then when you put your fabric over it won't show. Or you can use 2 layers of fabric, and that's what I'm doing because I'm using up scraps at the moment. So I'm just going to line these up, place them over and tape them in place. Pop your hoop back into your machine, and then you're going to stitch round number 4 to secure it. Trim away the excess fabric from around the edge of the stitch line. Load a light thread into your machine. I'm going to load white in because it's going to zigzag around the edge of this, and I'm going to be stitching around the belly in white, so it makes sense to load a white thread in now rather than stay with a dark one. You're now going to stitch round number 5, and that's going to do the zigzagging around the edge of the belly. Load the pink for the mouth into your machine, and then you're going to stitch round number 6. You've actually got a choice between stitching a dolphin or a shark, and the only difference is that you don't stitch the teeth for the dolphin. I'm doing the shark, so I've loaded white thread into my machine, and we're now going to stitch round number 7, and that's going to be the teeth. You're now going to stitch the satin stitching around the edge here, and the whites of the eyes, so I'm staying with the white thread, and then we're going to stitch round number 8. Load a black thread into your machine, and then you're going to stitch round number 9, and that's going to do the black of the eyes. Load your dark grey thread into your machine, and then you're going to stitch round number 10, and that's going to do the satin stitch detail around the mouth. You're now going to add your backing fabric, so turn your hoop over, place your fabric over the outline on the back of your hoop and tape it in place. Pop your hoop into your machine, and then you're going to stitch round number 11, and that's going to secure it. We're now going to trim up the excess of fabric from both front and back of the hoop, so turn your hoop over and trim up around the edge of the stitch line. And now do the same on the front. Make sure you've got a matching bobbin and thread in your machine, and then you're going to stitch round number 12, and that's going to do the satin stitching all the way around the edges here. Now that that's all stitched, we're going to free this from the hoop, so turn your hoop over, and then we're just going to trim around the edge. Don't worry about getting too close to the stitch line, because we're going to take care of any excess stabiliser in a minute. We're now going to dissolve the remaining excess stabiliser. So I've got a glass of warm water and a cotton bud. Dip it in and just wipe it around the edge. And that's our shark bookmark completed. As always, there's a link to the design in the video description below, along with lots of other useful information for you, so do take the time to have a look. I hope you enjoyed this stitch along. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to be notified of new videos as they're published. Do pop along to Kreative Kiwi's Facebook group. There's lots of help, inspiration and ideas there for everybody. And thank you very much for joining me.